Hey everybody, it's CJ Graham, Jason Voorhees. That's right, Friday the 13th, part 6. And you're listening to the scenesnobs.com.
Welcome to the Scene Snobs podcast.
What is going on, everybody?
Welcome, everyone. It's such a pleasure to see you all here.
How you doing, Casey?
I'm doing marvelous, Mick. How are you, my friend?
I'm doing well. You know what? I finally have been getting some rest.
Wow. How life-changing, right?
Yeah, you and I don't know the meaning of the word. Rest is not something we get.
Although I am going to say these last 2 days, I've learned how to do it.
Yeah, 100%. Like, I think because now that October's over and we don't have content every day and it's just kind of like, just focus on the shows as they come. It's been nice. So for me, I've just been like, I'm still passing stones, like they're like, they're asteroids coming from out of nowhere.
That's so exciting. It's like you have a little rock person that was forming inside of you. You had part of the never-ending story inside of you, bro.
I hate that movie. I hate that movie with the passion of like 1,000 Fiery Suns, and you know it.
And now you have the rock fighter inside of your dong.
It's such a stupid movie.
It's not a stupid movie. It's a beautiful tale.
First off, that is a stupid movie. It's how do you save it? You got to name her. That's it. Yeah. Like, that's it. Seriously? Really?
Because you have to learn from the story what her name is, bro. It's not like you just know. You have to learn and grow with it. It's called learning and reading and using whenever you, oh God, I can't remember the term. My joke just fell right down the tube. Son of a biscuit.
But you know what?
Empirical evidence.
The only reason
and
that your joke fell flat is because we're talking about that stupid, horrific movie.
It's not stupid. It's a beautiful movie, and I want a luck dragon.
Well, yeah, I mean, everybody does, but I want to see the horse sink quicker. That's like my thing. It's like, buy horse and then like go on Atreyu.
Well, yeah, I mean, I understand it. Of course, you want it to happen faster because it's painful at that speed. It was pretty rough. It was
every time I watch that scene, I'm like, there goes some perfectly good glue.
Why would you say that?
Because I hate that movie. I love horses, but I hate that movie.
Yo, I hope the spirit of our text is going to find your ass. Mm-hmm.
He really is. I'll tell you, man. I love when our rants go straight to something I hate right at the beginning. It's like out of the gate.
It's feeling strong start. Strong start.
Listen, if I want something on TV that will teach me that reading is good, I'll just watch LeVar Burton all the time.
In everything. Reading Rainbow. I mean, he's reading a lot in Star Trek, so I'm saying everywhere.
Yeah, he's reading his iPad, his Kindle. That's what he's reading on that show.
But he's still reading. You that it wasn't like your last name, like so close to being a Kimball instead of a Kindle.
Oh, we have Kathleen joining us today, and I know the never-ending story thing is going to drive her crazy. So happy Tuesday! Happy Tuesday to you. Rest. What is that? I know what insomnia is. I'm very familiar with that one. Listen,
it's a fun one.
You're the mom of a toddler. You got a deal. We did it. We did the toddler thing, and now my 5-year-old is just starting to let me sleep. So like you got a ways. Like
you'll get there though, Kathleen. Don't worry, it gets better. You're doing it. You're crushing it. Keep it up.
There's a whole other thing. There's completely other reasons you'll be kept up at night. After that,
like when they're grown and think they know what to do.
Oh yeah, I know, right? I don't want to go to sleep. I want to play video games all night. Shut up.
Through that, I even talking when they're out of the house. As a parent, when you're worrying all the time, imagine all the extra worry.
Oh my God, I don't let them out of the house. COVID, baby. Coronavirus, don't go out. I'm with Mick on this one. I hate that movie, but that's just because it makes me cry. No, it makes me cry because it's so long and stupid. Are you covering up some deep-seated hurt with that anger? Listen, there is plenty of other movies that I will say is deep-seated, like You Get Your Sleeps Just Fine, it's just me. Yeah, because as a parent, you are constantly worried about your child. It never goes away.
Are they okay? What are they doing? Are they having a bad dream? Can I help their dream? Hold on. I'm going to sit here and send good vibes to their brains so that way they don't think about bad dreams. Oh, and play Mozart.
Oh, my God. When you're sitting there and you're laying in bed, and like your child is like 10 feet from you with just one wall in the way, and you're just like, I need them next to me to know that they're going to be okay.
Yep.
That doesn't go away. It starts at birth and never goes away. It's horrifying. So,
well, it's part of what's ingrained within us as parents in order to survive, in order to keep the child alive, because the child is the legacy, because we're going to die, but we have to pass on who we are. It's a whole thing.
Well,
Like in the whole coded in the DNA.
I bow to you on that one because you know the history and science of things. So now I will tell you the history and science of the proton pack, but that's about as far as
totally valid.
Oh, I forgot to bring it down with me, but guess what? I got another exclusive Ghostbusters thing for Afterlife.
What did you get?
I'll make sure I posted pictures of it, so if everybody goes checks out the Scene Snobs, you find it. It's a Funko Pop of a mini Stay Puft holding a Baskin Robbins spoon of ice cream.
Oh my gosh, that's insane!
It's only being sold at Baskin Robbins. I heard it on TikTok. You know me, I'm like all about TikTok now.
Oh yeah.
I heard it on TikTok, and from somebody who was talking about it, and I was like, oh, really? Because it's Sunday morning. I'm waiting for the car to warm up, so I'm just like, dicking around on TikTok. And I heard that, and I'm like, I'm going to get coffee. Normally, I'll go to a small business. I try to respect, but like my favorite small business was closed on Sunday, so I think this is fair. So I went to Dunkin' Donuts, and it's a Dunkin' Donuts Baskin Robbins mix.
Oh, yeah.
3 of them, and I bought all 3, and I gave 2 to the kids, and I have one. You know me and my Funko Pops. I love my Funko Pops.
I know, bro. Now you got to find another one, grab it up, and maybe we make that one of our giveaways.
Oh, I can make that happen. I
believe in you.
But Uncle Mick is on TikTok. What is up, Mario? Thanks for joining in. I gotta wash my mouth now. My nephew's watching. That's not good. She decided tonight that she didn't want to sleep in her bed. She's asleep in her playhouse. We'll see if I sleep since I can't see her on the monitor now. Good luck. I say that.
I believe in you. You can do it. If anyone can do it, Kathleen Ross can.
That's true. So, Casey, I want to ask you a question.
Yes, Mick. I'd like to answer that for you.
What did you think of the Eternals, or have you seen the Eternals first?
God, no.
Good.
I have no desire to, bro. I didn't even need other people to tell me about this. I already saw it was going to be too many things smashed together, and I felt too many different styles coming into play, and every single thing I thought it would be has played out in everyone's review, yours included. I have absolutely been completely justified, and I'm vindicated, and I'm so happy that I'm not wasting any time or money on it. Little upset I still haven't seen Shang-Chi, but forget the Eternals, bro. I mean,
Shang-Chi was pretty good. I like.
Yeah, I'm excited for Shang-Chi, and I'm sure the Eternals is fine. But
no.
I mean, I'm not excited for it. I'm not in a rush. What did you think, buddy?
Well, I will save the majority of it. If you have seen it and want to check out my spoiler review, go over to the YouTube channel and check it out. But I will give you an abridged version, which is the actors are all fantastic. I cannot take anything away from the acting. They are all terrific, and they are all talented. Problem is with what they had to work with. Mm-hmm. And now I will point out some good things I really liked about it. It was a really nice looking movie. The visual effects didn't jump out at me, but I don't think it was really meant to. It wasn't like Endgame or Infinity War. It was
meant to be gimmicky and big. It was just supposed to be more like Avatar, builds the world kind of thing.
Yeah, it was kind of cool. Listen, VFX, it's Marvel Studios. It's going to be amazing, but it wasn't anything that I thought was huge. I will say this: there's a character in it who has super speed, and she was fantastic. The one thing I really liked about it is how they played her super speed, especially during fight scenes. It is better than anything that. I will say this: I think it's better. I personally think that this is the way they should do super speed, especially on the Flash, either the movie or the TV show, and even Quicksilver. Quicksilver was good. I love
Quicksilver. I think he was done very well.
Yeah, and I don't take that away from him. I think he's probably the second best now, but I really liked what they did with her and her super speed and how she fought and how kind of all played out. I thought it was much, much better than anything I've seen through the Flash so far. But the story was terrible. The story was just terrible. They keep going. They'll like go to a flashback like 5 seconds after talking about something. And then, you know how I feel about that. It reminded me a lot of Ghost Rider, the first Ghost Rider.
Well, I mean, there were so many problems with the first Ghost Rider, but it was still fun. I enjoyed it. I'll give it that. I didn't hate that I went to the movie theater for that. The second one I did. I was pretty bitter with my life that I made that decision. But yeah, the first one was pretty good. I don't have really much hope for this movie, man. I don't see much purpose for it. I think it's just turning into a money grab, which it's been, but Marvel crushed it. Like, I was great as a going to see those movies. Like, I've heard that this is also more adult because obviously there's full on humping in it, which.
Yeah. Oh my God.
What is that about?
Now, I took Tommy to go see this. Now he's 9. Like, you know, when you go to see a Marvel movie, you don't now it's lovingly done, but at the same time, like, it's not like they show anything. Like, they just show some cleavage and he's on top of her, but they're humping.
Yeah.
To me, I'm like, my 9-year-old's here. There's a lot of kids here. It's a Marvel movie. What are you doing? Like, and stop telling me like this is what you grow up into. Like, no, you don't do that. This is still a Marvel movie.
Right.
And that bugs me a lot.
That's one of the biggest things that I seem to have issue with is the fact that Marvel is kind of curtailing into what they're trying to call their adult version and adult side. And I don't like it. I don't care for it. I don't need it. Disney Plus does that just fine. They have television shows that are long enough and drawn out enough and have deep and intricate enough plots that I'm kept interested. I don't need a movie of smashed together extra where apparently all 9 characters have backstories. And then there's it's just so much, man. It's like what Suicide Squad wanted to do, the first one, and kind of failed. Only because we didn't see an Ayers cut. Maybe David Ayers made those corrections throughout a 2.5-hour movie. But the Eternals, why would I need that? Here's my big problem with the Eternals. Why do I need it? What point in the story is going to drive it to be so important that in this next book that we're in, or whatever you want to call it, chapter, whatever it is, tier, era,
phase, I think they call them.
Phase. We're in phase 4 or 5, whatever it is. I'm even annoyed by that. It's like, why are you giving us these crappy characters when you have so much more to pull from that we're still excited to see?
Yeah, you know what? The only thing it seemed like it was trying to serve as a bridge to opening up the cosmic Marvel cosmic world, which I'm fine with doing.
But we have Guardians of the Galaxy, bro. They've done it. They've already opened these doors. So when people are saying it's opening something, what door haven't they fucking opened?
No, true. I will say, for me, this was and I agree. Like, you also have Thor. So they've introduced, and Thanos was a part of the cosmic world, things like that. Like, if you want to have a war between the Celestials, that's a big thing, and that would be a big storyline.
Sure. And you bring Fantastic Four in there because they have that kind of mix and that part to play, which is clearly, if they already announced for, I think, 2024 is when the new Fantastic Four would be slated for. So, I mean, they see the end game where they're introducing these characters to be played out there. I get that. I'm not against that. You want to live your truth, play your game, go ahead. I just have no purpose or interest in participating at this point.
I would be okay with it if the Eternals didn't really make sense to me, because the thing for me is, I mean, and spoilers, just so everybody knows, like, kind of going into it, if you don't want to hear it at this point, it is in the mid-credits scene. But spoilers, Star Fox does show up in this movie. I'm not going to say any more. I'm just going to say, and the mid-credits roll, he does show up.
The Nintendo character?
No. He was an Avenger for a little while. Cool. He was like B-League. He was Thanos' brother. So he does show up, and they're obviously gonna open us up to a bigger thing. My biggest issue with it is, if you're not opening this up to Secret Wars, I don't care. Right. I don't care about your cosmic world. I don't care. Like a battle between the Celestials would be great. Or somehow putting this together so somebody creates Battle World and we get Secret Wars, that's great too.
Yeah.
But otherwise, like, just keep it on. Like, I'm really interested in the multiverse stuff, so keep it there.
Oh yeah, I'm super elated for that stuff. But if you're not going to have this all wrap up with Doctor Doom as a bad guy, then having to turn into good guy. Like there's a lot to play with and a lot of big stories there. But sorry, I'm not interested in the overpowered. That's why I struggle with DC so much. A lot of the overpowered players, and that's a lot of my struggle here with the Eternals. It's just I don't associate with the overpowered characters in comic books. I don't. You know, I get better. I'm more interested in what the Morlocks were going through in the fucking X-Men than I am of trying to figure out what's going on with these super ancient celestial beings who are all powerful and all knowing, but they only show up sometimes because they're really just dicking around the world. I don't get it, and I don't care to.
Well, they Radar actually says that they contradicted themselves. They 100% did, because they've said hi, Radar. But there's a million reasons that they could have gotten involved with Thanos.
Yeah.
They state so much in that movie. They're like, we don't get involved unless it has to do with Eternals or Deviants. And Thanos is both. So
Yeah.
you could have gotten involved.
Yeah, it's weak to be that. The timing of everything, the pacing of this phase has sucked. And you can blame COVID on it if you want to. You can blame COVID all you want. I'm sorry, the pacing has sucked. The TV shows have been amazing. Yeah. The Disney Plus shows have been phenomenal. Shang-Chi, once again, I haven't watched it. Black Widow was way better than I thought it would be. And it was very good. And I'm glad we got that as like our setup for phase 4. But now I'm ready for Spider-Man and for characters I give a shit about. I'm done with this. Why are they just pumping out crap? It's just.
But if you remember though, Spider-Man should have been out last November.
Yeah, that's why I'm so hungry for it.
And Thor 4 should have been out this November. So it was COVID that really pushed things back, because now things are kind of all out of whack and they're trying to readjust to it. So we should have, and it should have been Thor coming out this November. And then I think it was going to be Doctor Strange in December.
Yep.
I think we were going to get like a lot, like all together. And then
that's great. Hey, great. Thanks for telling me all the things we aren't getting the way it should be done, because this sucks. I mean, I'm just not interested. And it's going to be one of those deals where I'll be very interested in it in about 7 months when more stuff's out and I can watch the proper things. You know what I'm saying? Once the end credit scenes start to tie together, once everything makes more sense, it's a lot more fun. I have somehow become, when it comes to Marvel, I just need them all at the same time, constantly. Like, I need to binge my Marvel now. I can't wait for months in between the movies. I'm like, this is dumb. Just give me the whole thing now. Hi, Fred.
Okay, so Radar does mention the secret cameo makes no sense either. Actually, it does make sense. It's the only one I'm actually really excited for. So in the movie, we know Kit Harington's going to be Black Knight. He's going to become Black Knight, who was a member of the Avengers back in the day. And he's an interesting character. He's not great, but he's interesting. Whatever. He's B-League. But you hear a voice when he goes to touch the ebony blade and says, "You sure you're ready for that?" And it has been confirmed as Mahershala Ali as Blade. Oh. Now, it does make sense because the Black Knight and Blade in the comics have worked together in the past. So they do have a connection. And it would make sense for Blade to teach him how to use the ebony blade, because Blade would be the best for it. Now, there's heavy speculation that Blade, because it was a daytime scene, and Blade, they're sticking to the comics version of it, Blade only became a daywalker after he was bit by Morbius. And they're pushing Morbius fast.
Right. I saw Morbius coming out quick, and I am excited for Morbius. Okay, that one got me. All right, so Marvel did sell me on that one. They sold me there. More for Jared Leto, because I think he's a good actor. And I'm excited to see him play that character. Not other characters he's done, but that character, yes.
Well, yeah, no, Jared Leto by far is one of the best actors of all time. I mean, Urban Legend. Right there. Urban Legends, just greatest movie of all time.
Tops.
No, but
man's an A-lister, top shelf.
Top shelf on Urban Legends, Michael Rosenbaum. The best Lex Luthor of all time. The best Joker and the best Lex Luthor together in one movie. Oh, you're so pissed right now, and I
disagree with that fervently.
Yeah, I don't believe it. I only disagree with the one. Because Michael Rosenbaum on Smallville was probably the best Lex Luthor.
No, I'll agree with Rosenbaum being an amazing Lex Luthor, but no.
And by association, Jared Leto as
Shut up. Stop it. You don't need ever those words again. I think ever.
So just to kind of get off of Eternals, because it was bad, and not to get too deep into Spider-Man, because we really don't know much at this point. There's a heavy speculation with many things, and every day something new comes out. I've even talked about it on my TikTok and stuff like that. But are you excited for this movie? Oh,
No.
You're not excited for Spider-Man?
Well, for Spider-Man, I mean, I just want it out. I'm ready for it. You know me, I'm not going to get excited for these movies until they get closer, because I'm not willing to do that anymore. Spider-Man's going to be fine. It's going to be fine. But that's what I thought about Into the Spider-Verse. And Into the Spider-Verse is one of my favorite movies of all time, and I watch it constantly. So I'll probably love it.
Oh, yeah, I have no doubt. But it's so crazy to me to think, like, I remember right after Endgame, I said, I was like, I'm Marvel fatigued. I was like, I didn't even want to go see Spider-Man Far From Home. I did. I just saw it when it came out, but I was just so fatigued. I was like, I just don't know how I can deal with Marvel right now. That was a heavy emotional thing that they just put me through.
Yeah.
And you guys were gung ho, like you were all about it. You were like,
I
no,
was thinking the next forever, everything is going to be great. And dude, it's been the same way. On WandaVision, I wasn't excited to start it. I started it and loved it. I wasn't excited for Loki. I started it and loved it. It's all of these. It's everything Marvel does now is a point where I'm like, okay, all right. Yeah, I want more of it. But then I get more of it, and I'm like an addict. I'm a junkie who's gotten more. And I'm like, all right, well, now I think I've done too much. I think I need to go burn for a while.
DC comes over to tap the vein. You're like, get out of here, DC.
Get out of here. Oh, yeah, there's never room for DC. That's the unfortunate part. DC, by the time people are coming up to DC, I'm like, I'm puking. I need to go eat. Like, this is too many hours. I need to sleep. Like,
that's very true. All right, we spent enough time on this bull crap.
Yeah.
I want to get into our topics for tonight because we're not really a Marvel type of podcast, because listen, all geek podcasts have to talk about all the popular stuff.
I mean, I love Marvel. I do. I mean, Ant-Man is still one of the best father-daughter stories out there. I mean, bar none.
I like how you connected with that. Because of that, I like how you connected with that, because I never looked at it from that perspective. And your perspective on it is pretty awesome, and it made me appreciate the movie more.
Yeah, it's and that's why there are great stories and great things they're doing in Marvel. I just have a really tough time getting amped for it. You know what I'm saying? Because one of these Eternals was around the corner, because there's been a lot and it hasn't been great. You know, there's just been a lot of falling short, and that's although I say that, and then immediately Falcon and Winter Soldier was amazing. So it's like all of these other things that I loved it. I loved it. No. It was fantastic.
That's so far this year, 2021, that's my favorite Marvel product is Falcon and Winter Soldier. I loved it. I love Sam Wilson as Captain America. I'm on board. I'm fine with it. I wasn't wincing at that. What I was wincing was TV show knocking out of the park. But yeah, after Endgame, it's been weak sauce.
Dude, seriously, like Spider-Man was great, but Mysterio's boring to me. And Jake Gyllenhaal, who's an amazing actor, was kind of boring.
But even then, it's like, all right, Far From Home was good. I enjoyed it. You know, whatever. It's not. Homecoming is way better, in my opinion.
Oh, Homecoming was amazing. I mean, Michael Keaton crushed it.
And I am excited for No Way Home. And I think that suffers what I've talked about before with like the middle child syndrome of trilogies. Like, you're either really good, like Empire Strikes Back, or if we know it's a trilogy, like you're kind of like, all right. Or just some haters hate it, but those are haters.
Haters gonna hate, and I don't want to be out here saying that I hate these things. It's just that I'm just a little slow on them. I'm just not quite there right now. I tried, like you've been talking about watching Westerns, and I was all amped the other day, and I was all excited, like, yes, let's get into some Westerns, some action movies. Bro, I've been on a 2.5-day bender of rom-coms.
Yes, and I actually, before we get, because that brings us to our first topic, but I will say this. If you are looking for a really good ensemble movie with amazing actors, an amazing story, and everything else, watch The Harder They Fall. I did a review on it, so I'm not going to get into it too deep. Casey, you are welcome to talk about it if you want, but
I'm super excited to watch it because you had such high praises, and us both being Western fans. I mean, you're more of the classic Westerns. I know. I'm more of Silverado. I don't think we call Silverado a classic Western yet.
I like Silverado. I know what you mean. Like the Silverados are like the fun Westerns.
Yeah, the silly Westerns that were over the top, not quite the El Dorado where they meant it, or the Rio Bravo where they meant it, but made the same movie.
I will tell you, my top 5 list of Westerns, The Harder They Fall made that list, and you'd be very surprised to hear what it knocked off. I'm not going to say it here right now. You'd be very surprised.
Let's put together a Westerns list for maybe next month. Maybe that's how we start December. Okay. December Westerns, and we'll put our list together and we'll head to head and see whose is better.
We're probably going to have a lot of the same on there.
Yeah, of course. I mean, I'm definitely going to have Posse on mine.
I love it.
I love Mario Van Peebles, bro. I loved that movie. That movie, Bad Girls. Are you kidding me? That was great.
Oh my God!
Drew Barrymore at her finest.
Yeah, I saw that pop up recently. I think I know what's going on there. But yeah, so we were talking, and you've been watching a lot of rom-coms lately.
I have. Yes.
And we kind of got to talking with our first topic of the evening, and it's like the effects that movies have on our personalities, and rom-coms specifically. Because I will argue, a lot of people, you grew up the same time I did. We went to school. You're only a year behind me.
Right. Yeah.
We chewed the same dirt.
Yes, we do.
When it comes to it. And
shovel the same mud, brother.
Yep. Horror movies made you love Satan. Horror movies made you killers. Action movies made you want to shoot places up. Mm-hmm. That's what people said.
Oh, yeah.
That was the negative effects that movies had. I would beg to differ and say that if you were going to target anything as having, giving people personality disorders and growing up at a young age when they watch them, it's rom-coms.
Oh, yeah, 100%. Bro, I couldn't be more with you. Are you kidding me? I learned all the wrong ways to try to approach women, and then how to supposedly try and get the girl, and then how to never how to keep them, never what your responsibility was, never anything important. It was just these ridiculous things that you would try to do, and then always always keeping your eyes open and options open, which is unfair. But trying to do that whole love could be anywhere. It could be the person next to you. Like that, bro. That will mess you up. If that's what you feel like you have to find, and that's part of what you're searching for, rom-coms do that, man. They do not set you up for success.
It also misrepresents women in the worst ways.
See, now that's the other side of it, is showing these almost like 2 or 3 classes of who the other girls are. There's either the shitty sluts, there's the whatever, like the crazy drug users who are all open and free, and then the prisses. Who there's this different class, almost societal class,
or the well, I will say this: the outcasts too, because if you have outcasts in there, that they play that up as if it's a serious tone, they have mental health issues, and for the time they played those mental health issues up as she's crazy. Yeah, it wasn't open like it is now, or it was what attracted the man to you, and you needed to have those quirks to fall in love, and it's so weird. And from my perspective, how they portray women, it's disturbing because it's this, you're telling me this is what all women want. Mm-hmm. All women want a man to just come into their life and be the Prince Charming and do this and do that. And this is how you get them, by acting this way, sometimes being deceitful or, playing a game or playing a prank or making a bet or doing it. It's at 39 and 38, we understand that's horrific. Yeah. And that's not how men act. No. And thankfully, for a while now in our adulthood, we've known that. But now imagine being 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, all the way into your 20s. You watch these movies, women watch these movies while you're dating them, and you think this is what they want.
Yeah, of course. Of course they do. I mean, one of the Varsity Blues pops into mind as being a prime example of everything you just mentioned. There are very specific lines that they set you up for. that they're like, you're either, but it's also kind of trying to show you that window. Things are fucked up.
And
Varsity Blues did a better job than most, but you have like 100 girls where the point is to lie to get into this women's dorm so you can just go through their shit and try to find the woman you've mysteriously hooked up with one night. Like, come on, that's horrifying. That's terrible.
And yeah, and you know, so much of it comes down to when you watch the stuff and you're like, you're supposed to talk about women like this. You're supposed to think about women like this.
Porky's.
And oh my God.
You remember that one? Like, you want to go back to some badness, some bad rom-coms, some Porky's, bro. That era of movies. But we also had not another teen movies 1, 2, 3, and 4. So we haven't really gotten better. At least that kind of shined a light of mockery, like not another teen movie. There was an amusement factor to it of going, come on, really? You really think you're ever going to find fucking Freddie Prinze Jr.? Come on. Or Chris Evans? Like, what terrible, how the hell was I supposed to ever keep up with those guys? Like, you talk about the real stuff, looking like the outcast or always feeling like the weird one, being like, sure, yeah, it'll happen.
Yeah. Or here's one that like always gets me, and everybody hates it, but I like it. Is Summer Catch.
I love that movie, and it is awful. It is terrible.
So bad. But it's indicative of like every rom-com, like how you know, like but even like it portrays like every son figure in the movie, like the main has like a problem with their father.
Oh yeah.
You know, and you know, but they never really get into it. They never really fix it. It's just fixed with like talking. Yeah, so it's like,
that's supposedly all it takes. Just one little chat, and it's I'll change my entire ways. If only I'd known before.
But to get to like the main topic of it, and like we can reach out in other genres as well. But what do you think what effects do you think it has on our personalities, Dr. Madman?
I mean, I think it has so many because if we find personas that we are able to attach ourselves to, and if we see something that we go, hey, you know what, I associate such and such because I have this tendency, or my friends say I have this tendency, and you recognize something in a character, whether it be a goodness or something you want to try to do, or whether they're funny or whatever it is, if then you see that character degrading other people or putting other people down or degrading themselves, that it's absolutely going to have a terrible reverse effect on you, and you're going to put yourself down. And especially if you don't ever see yourself in a certain light as ever being that person to ever get the girl, or being ever that girl to get that guy, that's just the situation we continue to put ourselves in, and we do so willfully. And at a young age, it's easily done, especially with laughter, because the laughter allows us to push through the hurt that we would potentially have, like reading an entire Jane Austen novel. That essentially would be that same kind of hurt. So that's why we laugh. Right?
No, I've never read a Jane Austen novel. I never will.
I've read 2.
You're
all right.
Really into that. Like I'm, and that's not a down. I'm not playing that down or putting you down for it.
I don't take it as a knock. Are you kidding me? I've been called worse by better, bro.
Fuck you. I just kind of meant I'm not into that Victorian era. I don't really enjoy like reading about it, watching it.
Totally fair. I get that. Like I just finished the range of what I watched went from +1, Jack Quaid movie, fantastic flick. Really love that movie. And then I just finished wrapping up Becoming Jane, which was so boring I forgot it. That's how boring that movie was, but I loved it. It's like I said, I told you earlier before the show, it's the 4th time I've watched it, and I just realized it again, and I've forgotten it again. But this time I remember the ending, and her and her sister don't marry anyone. They remain single their whole lives. And I'm like, oh, well, that's an interesting way to cap off my rom-coms. Maybe that's a more logical story. I need to actually hear more. It's like, oh yeah, these people had this delightful love when they were younger, and then they were idiots and did something dumb and went off a different path, and they never spoke to each other again.
I think I wised up because especially rom-coms and dramas and things like that. It's not just, this isn't strict to rom-coms, but movies do this a lot, especially in the case of love, where if somebody falls out of love with somebody else, you have to make a giant gesture. You have to, you have to prove your love, and love will conquer all.
Well, Tim King said it. You have to sacrifice yourself upon the altar of embarrassment.
Yeah, no, it's stupid. Don't do that.
Said that way too many times, bro. I'm done with that. That
No,
is
no, no,
a
no.
younger man's game, bro.
But yeah, I mean, me too. Because like, oh, I'm gonna make a giant gesture and it's gonna be amazing. And like, the thing about like, well, I'll get into that next. But like for me, the thing when I realized, not too early on, but pretty early on, it's okay if somebody doesn't love you.
Right?
It's okay, and like they're not a bitch, they're not a piece of shit, they're not, don't call them names, don't do this. It's okay if they don't have feelings for you.
The put down junk was, I never understood that.
Yeah, just like it's okay for me or anyone else, man or woman or whatever you identify as, it's okay if the person you're attracted to isn't in love with you. Yeah. And it's okay if you're not with somebody.
Yeah.
And once we realize that, and as you get older, I think more and more do, but once people realize that, and movies have like beat you over the head with like that it isn't okay, like this is who they are, like women who are sexual in movies, they all dress a certain way, and it's those types of movies that make you think like if she's dressed like that, that's what she's into. And it's like that mentality is like horrifyingly
art imitating life, imitating art, and it just keeps a nasty cycle going. And it's also a matter of not being respectful. That's part of our culture that we have removed entirely is being respectful. I think there's an air of respect that we've lost, and I kind of miss that, man. I think that's why I like the Victorian era so much. There's a respect and there's an attitude and there's the way things are done that I really love. I really appreciate that. And it's sad we don't do that anymore or have that anymore. It seems like that's kind of gone, that decorum. It's all about the idea of you can just do whatever you want, fuck them, and say whatever and call her bitch and walk out. It's stupid. It's dumb.
Was there a lot of respect going on in the old Victorian era?
No, it's all a front. But look, at least have the front. You know what I'm saying? At least do that much. Please give me the respect of walking away and letting me know that you're muttering I'm a poppycock wanker, from far away. That's cool. I'm fine with that. Like, it makes me feel kind of good, actually. Like,
had to cross the channel to France during that time, and it's just like, it's not that good over here.
I mean, things were a little different, Things were different in different areas. It was a little. They were just being rebellious. They were getting a little rabble rousers, getting excited. Silly proletariat.
Now, Kathleen, this is a good point. Bring back chivalry. Is chivalry dead, or has chivalry evolved?
Because chivalry's evolved. I think it's a good point because there's 4 things. Chivalry was only one rule, and it was the rule about being nice to a maiden was just about like holding her hand. That she stepped off her horse. That was like it. I'm pretty sure. And how to like bow.
No, if anybody's gonna know, it's you. But it was chivalry was showing respect to the opposite sex, and to my understanding and how it's always been taught to me. And you see it in movies, and then you immediately see the same person who's supposed to be chivalrous be the worst human being ever in movies. So, okay, we can bring back chivalry. Do we bring back the terrible human being portion of it too? As per movies.
One of the interesting parts of that too is I think about like chivalry. Okay, so we look at the Heath Ledger's character from 10 Things I Hate About You, just briefly. Being chivalrous, you wouldn't reach in and the morphing of chivalry, because I feel like chivalry has become, if you respect someone, would you ask them to kiss on the first kiss? You know what I mean? Is that a situation? Yes. Right. So when Heath Ledger's clearly being not in a fight with, oh my God, I forgot her name.
Kat.
Thank you, Katniss. So when
it was Katrina.
Oh, was it? Are you sure?
I'm 95% sure.
Julia Stiles. So when Heath Ledger's kissing Julia Stiles, that's who I was trying to remember.
I didn't know you want the actor.
I wasn't trying to split actress and character and actor character. My bad. I messed it up. So when he just like plants one on her, that's pretty uncomfortable. Mm-hmm. Like there were certain moments where I was like, like going back and watching some of these older rom-coms, I'm like, I'm not really cool with some of this stuff. Like if a guy did this to my daughter, I'd say you knee him right in the genitalia.
Yeah, there has to be a level.
One knee, 2 balls, kapow.
In my opinion, and by things I have read and looked at, not from the ancient idea of what chivalry is, but to this day, to understand this day's type of chivalry, it's really just showing appreciation.
Mm-hmm.
And just showing appreciation does not mean that you do everything for her. That's not how it is. Like, you just appreciate that person, you show your appreciation, especially if you love them.
Yeah, as you're sharing your lives together. It's definitely evolved. There's more healthy, logical ways to look at relationships, obviously outside of what the movies were trying to show us.
Mm-hmm.
And it would show nice little microcosms. There were sweet movies. There were good ones that tried, but overall, I think there was a demeanor that was downplaying and putting down women. Straight up, it was playing into every stereotype they possibly could, and then jumping all over men too, and showing them what they should be, and trying to be this person, even though that person in the end is kind of a dick.
And let's be real, Kathleen, and whoever else thinks that chivalry should be brought back. Most of the people who believed in chivalry, were part of the Knights Templar. So were those boys just signing up to fight? Is that how that worked?
Well, I mean, there might have been a little money involved. Who's to say?
Yeah, the massacres that went on of children.
What? That was in the name of God. And remember, as long as they were pardoned, they had 24 hours.
Listen,
and they could get an extension. They had a bishop right there, yo.
I've seen Spotlight. I know it happens. I know it's been happening for thousands of years.
Dude, Spotlight's still one of my all-time favorites. I'm not in my docudrama like heavy duty series yet, but that's coming up soon. I'm feeling it. I'm very excited for those.
That's January time for me.
Yeah, exactly.
So, we're talking about the effects of movies on personalities and things like that. And, I think we went to some good places with them. We really bashed rom-coms, which I think is like the most important thing.
Which is hilarious because I love them. It doesn't mean I will stop loving them. I'm fully aware that they were. I mean, Just Friends. Come on. Just Friends was awful.
Oh,
what an awful story. What a miserable fucking tale. We're supposed to be rooting for the guy who's just trying to hurt this woman just because he's trying to bang her because he's all, well, you messed me around for a couple years. No, she was your friend, you dick. Like, I loved that movie, and the whole time I was yelling, getting more upset. It was very sad. I was like, I don't think this movie is what it was. I think there's a whole thing that has changed.
It's funny to me, and he mentions it quite often, is 500 Days of Summer. And how that entire movie, like, when Joseph Gordon-Levitt is like, oh, your character is so sweet and blah, blah, blah. He's like, go back and watch it. I'm the villain.
Yep.
And he even says, he's like, a lot of people are just like, what are you talking about? You're not the villain. He's like, I'm the villain of that story. Mm-hmm. And he goes, I put my feelings, my thoughts, my desires, and projected it onto her character and wanted nothing more than her to reciprocate when she didn't have to.
Yep.
So Kevin says, okay, maybe I just want actual respect. That's fair, but that comes from appreciation. Mm-hmm. The person who loves you, if they appreciate you, then it's, I feel like that's the chivalry everybody desires. And that's one thing I've definitely lost in the past, and I've sought out to start doing again, mm-hmm. especially in my marriage, especially after our separation, was like, I do appreciate this woman. I love this woman, and I lost track of that, and I need to show her. And the most important thing about appreciation is you can't expect it back.
Nope.
That's not the point,
bro. That's the whole point. You just give. Yeah. Just give more. That's a beautiful thing. The more you give, the more you just want to give more, and it feels better and just keep giving. But that was a weird thing is that projection and projecting my problems the way Joseph Gordon-Levitt described in 500 Days of Summer. That was one that really bugged me because seeing that movie and realizing I had done that in the past. Yeah. I was that bad guy in the past and going, I don't like this movie. This movie's bullshit. How dare you make me accept and understand my life? Like, that's a rom-com that I think fits really well. Well, most of his 50-50 was really good too.
It's such an odd thing to look back at and think what you've done in the past as a young man. Like, I can speak from the point of view of a young man, and the things I did and the expectations I put on women that I would date in the past, stuff like that. Like, I by no means was, physical or an asshole in that sense, but like when you expect things and you expect, if you care about somebody and they don't reciprocate, and you're like, well, how could you? I've given you all my love, and it's like that doesn't matter.
Right.
Who gives a shit?
Right. It doesn't fucking matter. And I think that's one of the biggest things, is learning that I wasn't always the hero of my own story. I've made a lot of mistakes, and that's fine. That's what we learn from. The best part is the most we can ever ask and hope is that we just don't do them again. Just don't repeat them and hurt more people. That's definitely where you got to get to, I think, is a big thing. It's a big step, and it's important.
Weird Letters says, I feel like it's evolved more to just equal appreciating in a relationship versus making a make figure trying to impress a woman with basic kind gesture. He was so selfish in that film. Yeah, no, I agree. Again, when you're in love with somebody and there has to be a mutual appreciation if it's going to work.
Right.
But when you show appreciation, you can't do so expecting it.
Oh, of course not. Because once again, you can't expect things in return. That's just the way gratitude works. There are certain things that have to be for the sake of being, not for the sake of what you receive from it, just because it fucking is. And that's how the world goes on.
And so people know, I'm not just talking about a loving relationship between some people who are married, no matter your gender, people who are married or people who are dating. Like Casey and I, there has to be an appreciation there. And I have to appreciate him, and not in our partnership and everything he does in our friendship. You have to do this with your friends too.
Yeah. I fully accept that I don't get the appreciation, so I understand.
You shut up. No, you have to appreciate your friends too without expecting appreciation. And if anything, if somebody truly cares about you as you do them and you show them appreciation, they are going to naturally show appreciation back to you. If they don't, then you have to start asking yourself, do they care about me?
Mm-hmm.
That's an assessment you have to make yourself. But we're getting a little long in the tooth and serious here. Thank you for the anniversary, Kathleen. Happy anniversary. Thank you. Yeah, it is on the 13th. I do appreciate it though. I would like to kind of switch gears a little bit, if you're cool with it, my friend.
Let's do it, my friend.
Our main topic this evening: bucket list items inspired by movies. So
I want to hear what you got, brother. Fire them off. I'm excited for your list.
Well, I'm going to go number one, and then we can kind of go from there and like things that we want to do. My number one on my bucket list completely, I would absolutely love to do. I want to drive the Ecto-1 around New York City with 3 of my close friends.
That's amazing.
And here's the thing. One of the people who had a spot in Ecto-1 just passed away, so he's Slimer in this ride. 100%. Lenny, I love you. You're Slimer.
Of course he is. Ride. He's gonna be there with us.
So there's an
opening.
Casey's, you're in there. I think you're on that ride.
Made the cut.
And I got a couple other names on the list, but maybe we should, if we get to 1,000 subscribers on YouTube, I'll give you that extra spot. May never come about, but I'll give you that extra spot.
Worth a shot.
And it was reinvigorated in me because I was watching Adam Savage on the set of Ghostbusters Afterlife driving the Ecto-1. I was just like, the dream is still there, man. I want this so bad. I want to drive around New York City in the Ecto-1 with the sirens blasting.
That siren, bro. I gotta hear the. Oh.
It's just one of those things. Like, I think that for my bucket list, like if that could ever happen, I would just be. I don't even know. I don't even know how to explain the jubilation that would occur in me. If I get to do that,
it would be pretty incredible. And I think your bucket list number one item is way more attainable than mine.
Really?
Because mine is absolutely to jump out of a perfectly good airplane in an Aston Martin that would then have parachutes and kick off and then go into I was going big with this, bro. I was
That's
thinking
okay.
the
That's a
most
bucket
extreme
list.
thing possible because I want to be James Bond. I realize after most of my bucket list items, I just want to be James Bond. Like that's pretty much what it comes down to.
Have you seen the new one yet?
No.
I need to because I do love the Daniel Craig versions.
He's a great Bond. Once again, I've got Bond burn. You can't have 40 movies out of your entire run and not make me go, I'm a little tired, guys. I didn't need one this year. I don't even need one last year. Don't need one next year. It's just Bond for me is I've got to be in a mood.
That's fair. I'll give you that. But you know what helps me get through is not watch all of the other ones.
Well, God, no. I don't sit there and like throw on Thunderball, even though that's still one of my favorites. Or For Your Eyes Only, which big Roger Moore guy, as you could tell. View to a Kill was freaking awesome.
Yeah.
There's some good ones out there, but no, I don't do that. And I stopped trying to watch all the Daniel Craig ones because I don't know what it is, and maybe you're with me on this one. Does Bond get a little boring in the middle for you?
No.
Like every Bond movie on Earth, there's a point where it kind of just like if one was, I don't know, say gonna take a nap, it feels like there's a pretty good opportunity in Bond to catch a few Z's. Maybe
probably could.
For a bit.
You probably could and wake up and then still not have missed anything.
I mean, that's kind of the joy of Bond movies. I've been able to do that most of my life.
I won't say that about Daniel Craig because Daniel Craig, as long as they can be, and I get it, there's something about them.
Skyfall failed, bro.
What? Oh my God!
Yeah,
you know what?
I wasn't a huge Skyfall guy.
Sorry, guys. This is my last episode.
Well, I don't know why he ran away. That didn't seem logical at all.
Skyfall's my favorite one. Skyfall.
Really?
Roger Deakins' cinematography in that movie is brilliant. How he didn't win an Oscar for that movie, I want to kick somebody out of a window just like he did in that.
No one's saying it's not pretty. I'm just saying it kind of sucks.
Oh my God, that changed the whole tide of everything.
Yeah.
You've hurt my heart, man.
I'm sorry, bro. I mean, look, I'm just saying The World Is Not Enough was better. Pierce Brosnan is superior. I firmly believe it. I 100%. I'm not even joking on this, bro. I will. This is a hill we might have to converse over, but I am all over me some not big on Daniel Craig, bro. He was cool in the first two, whatever they were called.
Jason thinks you're trolling me. Is that on your
Pierce Brosnan? Jason, this is not a troll. Pierce Brosnan is clearly the superior Bond.
Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Are you?
No, 100%, dude. He's way better than Daniel Craig.
No, GoldenEye, I'll give you. Even if you said GoldenEye over Skyfall, I'd be like, all right, I get it.
World is not enough. World is not enough.
No,
yes,
I can't give you that opinion. You're not allowed to have it.
The GoldenEye is great. GoldenEye is great. GoldenEye is as good as World Is Not Enough, which is almost as good as Die Another Day.
Oh my God, dude! Are you kidding me? And like, is Timothy Dalton your uncle? Like, what is happening here? What are you doing?
He's great. Timothy Dalton's fantastic. He's a View to a Kill. He was my number 2 Bond.
This bucket list item just
spiraled out of control.
Fucking took a hard turn left, man. That I can't no. Pierce Brosnan, he was good.
Are you saying Craig is your favorite?
Yeah, Craig's the
Captain
best.
Wooden Face.
Oh my God! No! I can't even. What is happening right now?
I mean, he would be all right if he was like able to, I don't know, do some stunts, be more actiony.
But listen, I get if people are like, I like Pierce Brosnan as a favorite. I mean, definitely over like Dalton. Lazenby's movie was really good, but he wasn't.
Lazenby's movie deserved better. He was fine.
He was good in it, but the movie was better than he was as Bond.
Agreed. And Roger Moore was good in half his movies and shit in the other half, man.
Woody Allen was better. Made a better Bond movie than I can't. Like my brain hurts. My brain
And then
hurts.
there's Sean Connery, he was a good start.
Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me right now?
What?
So good.
He was all right.
What are you doing? Are you trolling me? Are you fucking with me right now? Like this ain't gonna not be real. You have to be. I mean, here's the thing. I want to respect your opinion. I want to show you that appreciation, Casey. I want to show you the appreciation of respecting your opinion.
I
But
appreciate
I
you
can't do
trying
it
to
right now.
appreciate me.
I can't do it right now. Now, I'm not saying that Daniel Craig has to be your favorite. I'm not saying that Pierce Brosnan can't be your favorite. I'm just saying you can't say The World Is Not Enough is better than Skyfall. What are you talking about?
It was absolutely better.
No,
it was 1,000% better. First of all, Jonathan Pryce was a way better villain.
I will give you Quantum of Solace, sir. I'll even give you Spectre. I am not giving you Skyfall. It was
Skyfall, but they were at that boring ranch or whatever. It
wasn't a ranch. It was his family home.
Oh, with a church on it? Really? Nice family home. Must have been real tough, James.
I'm not even arguing that point. I'm just saying, what is the geographical location of where he grew up have to do with any? You grew up on a farm.
Yeah, I know. It was very similar to where I grew up. Did I become James Bond? No.
Oh, I see. You want to be James Bond. I got to make this Aston Martin thing happen.
Bro, I'm telling you, that jumping out of an Aston Martin would be amazing. Out of an airplane, like a big old KC, like a C5. That would be great.
Like that's not even my argument. Isn't even that like you can't say Skyfall's a bad movie.
I didn't say it was a bad movie.
It's not definitely not better, worse than World Is Not Enough.
World Is Not Enough is rewatchable. It's got a good story. It's fascinating. I can put it on and be entertained the whole way through. You know what I don't get that on? Skyfall, where I spent 45 minutes listening to people talk about their freaking heritage and how important it was where they grew up. And then I have Javier Bardem, who's just not really all that great in there. I'm sorry. He was an awful villain.
He did fine. But he wasn't. All right.
In Bond, you don't do fine. In Bond, you need to be amazing.
Yes, you do.
And he was not amazing. And I love Javier Bardem. This is not a knock on him. That was very much the direction they took him, and I didn't fucking like it. I really didn't like his bad guy. You really want to know what pissed me off about Skyfall? That bullshit. His bullshit, okay? Because then you have Spectre come out, and you have one of the most menacing motherfuckers I've ever seen. But no, we can't do that with Skyfall. It has to be boring and plotting. And some guy who's going to have a satellite but doesn't actually use a satellite. Instead, he just lands with one helicopter worth of troops to come attack you. It's bullcorn. It's bullcorn.
You're killing me, man. You're killing me with this. Nope. There's no way I can't give that to you.
Skyfall can suck an egg.
Radar, it was not a reboot because Dame Judi Dench played M in the movie. It was a continuation.
She was a continuation, but she could have been a different M or a parallel universe M.
Come on, man. Just give it to me. You're shitting all over Skyfall. Can you give me this one? Where's Dalton on this list of hot
I told you, if you do a kill strong, bro. If I'm able to name it right out the gate, you know I love me some Dalton.
I love Timothy Dalton. I do. He wasn't the best James. I mean, I would say Timothy Dalton's above. All right. Roger Moore had more time to play him.
Yeah, that's why he had really good ones and really bad ones.
Radar, I'm not listening to you. Sorry. Not a different M, same M. I will not. I'm just come on. I feel defeated now. And I haven't done anything. I haven't done anything on my movie bucket list.
Oh, keep going on your movie bucket list, bro.
No. I just mean like I feel defeated and I haven't done anything on this bucket list. So it's like,
well, yeah, but that's okay. Maybe we could always push the bucket list back.
No, it's fair. I mean, a lot of my stuff is like driving cars.
It's weird, man. I got in this weird kick where I was like, I really want to drive. So, I can't remember what the movie was, and it's killing me. But they had that giant freaking vehicle that goes in the sand. Those huge Sand Rover things. They used one on balls. What was it? If anyone ever watched, not Grand Tour, Top Gear, the BBC show with the three guys who used to drive around.
Oh yeah.
Jeremy Clarkson and Hammond, and so they did an episode with this giant like vehicle that just is made to go in the sand, huge armored thing, and I was like, I want to drive that. And my original thought was because it'll make me feel like I'm in Dune, but now it's an even better Dune. So now I really want to drive it. Like that jumped the list because I was like, bro,
Are you carrying a pug with you?
Dude, let's do it.
100%. I want to. Here's another one, and it doesn't have to be on a movie or anything. I want to sit in Kirk's chair. I've never sat in Kirk's chair. I would settle for Picard.
Settle for Picard. You'd be lucky to sit in Picard's chair.
But you know me and Kirk. I would love to sit in Kirk's chair. It would it'd be awesome to just like cross my legs and like just chill in the chair. Like yeah. But it would be cool to be on the bridge of Next Gen, of course.
I mean, I part of my bucket list is definitely to go to Las Vegas and the Star Trek cruise. Those are like those are the two big things, man. I would love to go to those conventions and be able to just see everyone and be really uncomfortable around them waving from the side, like, hi, you're really cool. Hi.
I don't even need to sit on the set. Like, I just want to sit in the actual chair.
Oh, yeah. No, dude, they have that out in like Las Vegas when they do the conventions and stuff. They have all those out there. They'll have Kirk's chair. They'll have, sometimes different enterprises or different bridges set up. So they had like the Voyager bridge because it was their 35th anniversary or whatever.
Nice.
So yeah, it's pretty awesome.
This is on mine too.
Oh yes,
but Ecto 1 is number one because I get to hang out with my friends doing it. And if I couldn't get the Ecto 1, I would take the A-Team van.
Yeah,
but the '89 Batman would be by myself, so it's on the list too, but it's not as high on the list.
It'd be a lot of fun. The '89 Batwing.
Oh my god, that'd be amazing,
bro! If I could guarantee I wouldn't die, I'd be all about it. Actually, no. If there was a 20% chance that I die, I'd still take it. I'm in.
I would. You know what I would love to see? The first model Star Destroyer used in the movie.
Oh yeah.
Like I would just see it. Like just to kind of get an up close look at it. That would be on my list to go and just see that.
And the trench. Like to see, remember when they have they do that behind the scenes picture? There's that famous one of them having the X-Wing on the stick going down the trench. I'm like, oh, dude.
Oh, yeah. Dude, it would be so awesome. But yeah, stuff like that is really like for me movie-wise. But like then there's acts that we've seen do, like you said with James Bond, like driving out of the plane is a big one. I'm trying to I would love to do squirrel suits.
Yes, squirrel suits would be amazing. More James Bond stuff.
Yeah. I'm too big. I can't do it.
Yes, you can. You believe in yourself.
No. Even if I lost all the weight, I'm too big. I've even looked it up. I'm too big.
What?
Yeah. The gravity would not be my friend in that instance.
That's fair.
That suit would not work well. But it would be cool, everything I've seen, especially when they do it in the movies and stuff like that. When what's his name from Mission Impossible, Halo jumps.
Oh yeah, Tom Cruise, right?
Yeah, and he did it 30 times. He just kept Halo jumping himself because they wanted to keep getting it right.
Wow,
I'm like, that would be awesome. That would be a really cool thing to do.
I'd be all about it. That would be amazing. Do a Halo jump. I'd love to fast rope down a Hilo, the side of a Black Hawk. I would love to fast rope. I know it sounds ridiculous and terrible, but I would love that.
Yeah, Radar's got a good one I like, and that's walk through actual Disney Vault and just stop at the Nightmare Before Christmas stuff. I love it. I love that idea, and I would love to see stuff like that too. Going through Disney, and I'm talking about Disney Studios. I'm not talking about Disney World. Disney. That would be cool in itself, but to actually go through Disney Studios and just see all of the stuff that they have.
Yeah.
Through all the years. Just to tour it, but I'm talking an actual tour, not like the one you go on,
right? The backlot tour or whatever they call it.
I would like Bob Iger to just be like, "Hey Mick, just go walk around. You're good. You can do whatever you want."
That's what I want in the Vatican. Are you kidding me? That's why for so long I was like, I could become a priest. All I would want to do is just get to the Vatican. That would be amazing.
That would be awesome because you're an adult. If you were a child, it would be tough.
Yeah. Oh no. That's stupid as a kid. Are you kidding me? Even as a kid who loved history and dinosaurs, I'd be like, this place is dumb, and just kicking stuff over, push over some sort of big monument. I'm sure I'd destroy all kinds of shit.
Yeah. Well, like, what's some exciting stuff we could do? In terms of like stuff we've seen in movies that would just be kind of cool. I'd like to play baseball in the Sandlot.
What?
I'd like to play baseball in the Sandlot.
That would be cool. I was saying make love on a volcano, like Joe and the volcano. Joe versus the volcano.
No, man, I would rather do it I'd rather do it floating on those suitcases.
Oh snap!
Yeah,
bro. Yeah, money,
dude. I'm telling you, man. There's some fun stuff that like and like my bucket list does go on, and like I've kind of refined it over the years, like what I want to do. But a lot of it, like is inspired by movies because I love movies so much.
Well, one of the ones that I love so much is Commando. As you know, my love of Commando is unfounding. It never stops. It's a brilliant spectacle. I want that vehicle they have, the seaplane, the boat plane. Bro, if I had me a boat plane, I would go everywhere. I would travel everywhere with it. It would be the greatest thing on the earth. I'm pretty sure that's what I'm leaning towards as my retirement plan.
I would love to shoot the cannon thing from Commando.
Yeah.
That would be awesome. I had my own mini Predator experience where I had an AK in Maine visiting a friend, and he was just like, okay, this has all been safely cordoned off and stuff. You can fire. And we were in the woods. He was like, you can just fire in this direction. And I pulled my Predator on that one. That one worked. But to fire off that thing would be awesome.
That would be badass. That would be really cool. You know what? A rail gun. Remember the rail gun from Wonder Woman? I would love to shoot a rail gun. Like, let's just haul this big old thing down the train tracks and just see this giant shell get loaded. I mean, that would be awesome, man. I mean, as long as we knew it was going to land safely.
True.
That would be very important.
Got to be respectful of the
very
safety.
Important. But to watch like the big giant boom, as it would be pretty rad.
I will tell you this, as we kind of wind down and everything, with the bucket list, like a lot of my stuff is vehicle oriented, just because I feel like it would just be a lot of fun to do.
The vehicles are all more fun.
Yeah, it really is. Plus, most of our stuff is geek stuff anyway, so it's like, yeah, I mean, and I'm basing this in reality of what stuff could we actually do? Like, I can't, fly the Enterprise in space. Like, it's not going to happen.
I can't fly a bike with ET, which would be probably the most terrifying and fun experience. That's up there.
Yes, you can go down to the Universal Studios and do the ET ride. And just you get on the bike and you have some fun. That was some dangerous stuff.
I'd be weeping at there when it's done. Are you okay, sir? It was beautiful, man. It was beautiful.
Past the moon, man.
It was so nice. It was better than that Becoming Jane, where they end with nobody gets married. I was so expecting something more. I honestly did not remember that movie at all.
Yeah.
So I guess the story is I'm done with my rom-com spin.
Get to it, ET. So the next up is to watch ET. But I want to, it's second week of November. We're doing things that we're thankful for every episode. So, Casey, for you, what's something you're thankful for?
Well, I'm absolutely grateful for my daughter. I'm grateful for my child. I'm grateful for the time I get to spend with her. I have this amazing person she's growing into and being a part of her life, and just watching this little human become something fantastic and wonderful. So I'm super grateful for that opportunity experience, and it's truly a blessing.
That's beautiful, man. And I'll get to my kids eventually this month, but I'm going to say...
Screw them for now.
So since it's my anniversary week, I'm going to say I'm thankful for my wife and the beautiful life that we built together. Even through the thick and thin of it, we still stuck by each other's side, even during the downtime. It wasn't about pointing a finger and saying, this is your fault. It was about, we're at where we're at, and we can either work at it or we can work together to better both our situations. And I appreciate her for that. And I just, I'm thankful for her in my life, and she means the world to me in so many ways.
That's beautiful, brother.
Thank you, my friend. Now, Casey, you want to do your sign off, sir?
Why, certainly, sir. It's a pleasure as always. Thank you, everyone, for joining us this evening. Remember to be kind to each other. Thank you.
And I cannot top that in any way, so I won't even try. I'll just say, if you want to know anything about the Scene Snobs or where to hang out with us, go to scenesnobs.com or just listen to the credits after as they come up. I want to say thank you all for watching. Thank you to my partner here, Casey, my partner in crime. And love you, Len, and we'll talk to you soon.
Thank you, Mike.
Thanks for watching, everybody. I'm Mick Manhattan, the Scene Snob, and you can check out the Scene Snobs podcast live every Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern, or you can check it out on any podcast platform or our YouTube channel anytime after that. Thank you to our Patreon supporters. Without you, this wouldn't be possible. If you guys want to join, check us out over on thescenesnobs.com. We have links for everything. The Scene Snobs merch store is open. You can check that out too. Links again on the site. Or like, follow, and subscribe on all of our social media. Again, head over to thescenesnobs.com. It's all there for you guys. Love you, and we'll talk to you guys soon.